I do not understand anything I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place. This is quite an amazing understanding. This is a recognition that many people just don't even get this far in their spiritual practice, regardless of what it is. But to think about this, I do not understand anything I see. Now, it is important to recognize this is not a lesson. These are not lessons, and hopefully you haven't been selective. They're not lessons on judgment or in judgment. That this is to judge something more important than others. That this is actually an important statement that's in this course or in this lesson, is because you have definitions of things, thinking some things are important to keep and maintain the meaning, and some things are okay to loosen or let go of them. And this is something that you don't want to be doing because you think it's about the form. It's not about the form, it's about your mind. So recognize that the way you think of it, it has nothing to do with what it actually is, okay? So for the sake of this lesson, these courses, please keep away from discerning if anything is better or more important. That's not what this is about. You will still maintain the love, you will still maintain the experience, you will still keep meaning where you want meaning. Don't worry about it so much. So in this process, just simply do this by training your mind. That's how you train your mind. You are simply taking these steps, that what it takes to recognize a world beyond this. That there is a world beyond this world that you want. There is a reality here that you can't see because you're insisting that you have these definitions of the world. You're misunderstanding the world. And if you want to recognize the truth of the spiritual universe and your relationship with God, you have to surrender and let go of the definitions that you see here. This is how you get there. It is your psyche projecting it outwards. Now this envelops everything, not only your experience with all the objects, but your relationships with other people. That we have ideas that we're putting onto these other people and everything, that you think it's all separate from you. This is a big part of the course, is this idea of separation, and that you believe that it is separate from you. And therefore we have this joint experience of separation. It is joint because it is not as separate as we like to think of it. So it's pretty fascinating as we get into this, and of course it goes so much more in depth, but this is only lesson 3, right? We want to recognize that the way we see the world, physical, separate, individual, is a misunderstanding, and that everything I see is a misunderstanding from the reality in which God wants me to know. Some people take this course and literally make it strictly psychological, and this is understandable. It makes sense and it's helpful, but I take it to quite a literal extent of an alternate reality, that the spiritual universe is what is here, and your mind through these definitions is distorting it, changing it, and making it into something it's not. Therefore you have this experience of seeming physical world, and yet that's not what it actually is. You're simply addicted and projecting outward what you see within. So your misunderstanding is because you make everything into something that it's essentially not.